We made it. Here we are. As Ray P said right before we started recording, the gang is in the building. The gang is back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a favorite reunion. We are back with another episode of the Culture Garden Podcast. I am Kyron. Obviously, I'm not by myself. I'm going to let my incredible co-hosts introduce themselves.
Go ahead, Miss Ray P.
I was going to say, go ahead, Scoop. Well, it is me, your girl, Ray P. Welcome back, y'all. And as y'all can see, Rich and Ray are not alone. We are joined by the one and only founding member of the Culture Garden Podcast.
You see, I'm ready.
Isaiah, a.k.a. Big School in the building. What's going
Big
on?
School.
School is in the building. What's happening?
What's happening? We got to put that on the shirt, bro. We got to put that on the shirt for you. You got the catchiest intro. What's happening, man? How you feeling, School, man? First and foremost, obviously, I know there was a takeover episode where you was the worst security in the world. You let Mo in the studio so y'all could record an episode while we were out doing other things.
My Lord.
However, it's been a while, man. It's been a while since you've been with us, obviously. Top of the year. And we discussed you. And I know if you kind of discuss your story and what's going on, if people want to hear about that, they can check that out on Another Week in the Books, Chapter 2. I'll put the link in the episode description. We don't have to rehash all of that right now unless there's anything you want to say. But I mainly just want to know how you feeling. How's it feel to just be here with the whole gang in effect?
Man, it's crazy because I feel like this is the first time since like episode 3 where I'm really nervous. Like I'm with the gang, but I'm nervous. Like it's been a minute. So but it's good nerves. I'm glad to be home, baby. You know how that shit goes. So like you said, Rich, man, check out the episode Another Week in the Books. You know, man, life is good right now, man. I can't even complain. I can't. I won't. You know what I mean?
Amen to that.
So, yeah.
Amen to that, man. Well, I'm cheesing, man. I'm geeked to have you. I'm like my 2 favorite people to talk movies with. We added, as you can see, this is episode 100. Woo! Milestone episode. Yeah. Milestone episode. It's kind of crazy, and we'll get into our thoughts on it and kind of go down memory lane and have some conversation before we get into our movie and the whole 9. But we want to just thank all of you. I'm sure we'll do this multiple times throughout the episode.
Yes.
But just thank all of you for just continuing to pour into us, continuing to contribute, continuing to keep us going during those days and those weeks where it's just like, all right, man, I'm gonna have 5 more weeks in me. I might have 5 more episodes. Baby boy coming soon. But you know, you refine your love, and obviously want to thank the both of you for just being able to build this space. Obviously, I couldn't ask for 2 better people to do it with. So, but for all you people, Culture Garden family, as we call you, thank you. Thank you. You have no idea what you mean to us. We want to welcome you back to another episode. Before we kind of get started with our road down memory lane, check out Childish Grownups.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
New podcast that was started by Maurice. He's with Ash and Mia, and they were looking at children's movies from an adult perspective. Children's movie with a twist. Last week, I was sick as a dog, and I wasn't able to get on the episode to record 100. And I didn't want to half-ass it for y'all. This is a big episode. Didn't want to half-ass it, so I graciously asked Mo, and he graciously accepted and said, put it up on our feed, man. So we had something to pour into the feed. Real cool concept, real fun episode. Mo called me and just kind of, he wanted to make it like a cousin of Culture Garden in a sense, if that's what you want to call it. All 3 of the hosts have been on here, so it's all in the family, man. And they just dropped a new episode on Tuesday. They did Toy Story, which is one of my favorites.
Classic.
At school would know. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Please remember to like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Word of mouth is the biggest way to spread this. If you know anyone who loves movies and loves keeping it just authentic, this is the place for them. They're going to have a good time. Check our link tree for more content. This is not the only podcast we're a part of. There's a lot of other things going on. And we also have our YouTube page, which has our whole umbrella on it. Whether it's We Got Y'all, Culture Garden, everything is on the YouTube page. So please check us out. Rachel, you about to say something? You get the
I want to say shout out to our YouTube. I got a text message this weekend from one of the mothers at my church. Shout out to Mother Cynthia. She texted me and she said, I saw you on TV. I said, excuse me? Ma'am, on TV where? And she said on YouTube. And then so Sunday I asked her, she said, yeah, I didn't know you had a talk show with your two male friends because I watch movies on TV, on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man. I said, yeah, shout out to the Culture Garden. So shout out to y'all being famous in the church house.
Hey,
I'm about to say, you tell her it's a little R-rated. You know what I mean? We tried. We mean well.
There's a different side of me.
If our shit came up on her shit, she was watching something R-rated to begin with.
For sure.
Shout out to Sister Cynthia.
Absolutely, man. But I guess we could just not real quick, but just kind of have the discussion about episode 100, what it means, and give a little bit more of the origin. Because I know we talked about it. Well, I guess we could say the origin for why we're doing this movie, because why we're doing this film has a lot to do with how this podcast even started.
Yeah.
In a very indirect way. And it's kind of crazy, but School, we'll start with you, man, because do you remember just those early days? I mean, I'm talking early before Rachel, just me and you.
Oh, yeah.
And what the process was like. And could you have imagined being at episode 100? Was that something that was even on your brain in September 2020?
Listen, I'm glad you brought this up because I was definitely gonna mention it. I had a conversation with you and I talked about it. I attempted to start from scratch with the podcast. Like I just was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start from scratch and see. So I made it to the Best Man episode. Shout out to Ray P. So man, just listening to it, I'm like, damn, we done came a long way. Like when we really was recording in my bedroom, in a garage, like
off the iPhone.
Yes, off the iPhone with paper notes and stopping, like, yo, you got to say it this way. Like, not as authentic as you would think, but it didn't sound like that. Like, that's it sounded great. You know what I'm saying? But it's not this.
Yeah.
But it's still great. It's still great.
Did you ever imagine from those days that we'd be here, episode 100, this thing would still be going and
we definitely. I'll say this. I don't remember if it was you or Ray P's idea, but whoever decided the once a week idea, that's when it jumped. But before that, I figured we'd reach episode 100 by year. I don't know. I guess 12 times 8, 9, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's funny because if you remember about those early days, we had zero. That's the one thing I don't live with regrets. Everything happens how it is, but I am curious to know what it would have looked like had we been consistent from jump. You can kind of tell it was just us wanting to do something and talk movies.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked if you ever had the thought, because I don't know what my expectations were. I don't know if we ever. I remember vividly a time when you texted me during one of our hiatuses. And you said, hey, man, do we still have a podcast? And I always love stuff like that because School knows how to talk to me. Like, I'm not, it's hard to put a battery in my back. I'm going to move at my pace, but there's certain things and certain tones that people can say, and I'm like, all right, bet, and get things going. And I remember that like yesterday. And I remember, obviously, Ray P, and I want to pass it to you, Ray P, as far as Ray P getting involved. And that was the brilliance of School, just realizing, like, this is just something that could be a permanent thing. And you being selfless enough to, because it was early on, those sessions were insane. It's insane to think, and Rachel didn't really experience too many like this.
Yeah.
But it's insane to think about the way we recorded and how maniacal I was and how much stopping and breaking and editing. And that's part of the reason we probably didn't drop like that, because it was real life producing, stop, next segment, all of that, and didn't have to. And until I started appreciating the authenticity and the real things that happen when you're sitting there talking to somebody. If you're having a conversation with someone, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be somebody's going to take a sip of something, something's going to fall over, something's going to happen, and it doesn't mean that we have to start over. Just let it flow, man. And as it's funny because as we've gotten to this point, that's one of the big things that people say about the show. We love how authentic it is. We feel like we're in the room with you. And I couldn't be happier about that. But Rachel, episode 10. You were, first and foremost, you were a very early supporter, day one supporter of the podcast. And I remember you saying, like, hey, whenever, let me know. And this is something I'll say about Rachel. I've known Rachel since I was 18, as a lot of you know. So we're coming up. Well, I've known Rachel since I was 18.
Almost 20 of them things.
And there's never anything. And I'm talking about I'm 22 and running a freshman leadership program. I'm the director of the program and need someone to come in and talk to the freshmen. Anything I've ever asked Rachel to do, she's always been there. And she was, volunteered herself. And obviously she loves movies. She loves television. What do you remember about Rachel coming in the fold? Because I like to remind people, she was on Best Man, but she wasn't like a permanent fixture. That was just kind of a guest spot. Then I think you did Soul Food. And I think that's when school was kind of like, yo, what we doing? Like, come on, bring her in. Because you came off, you were the rookie that came in first game and dropped 35.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, yo, who is this? ASAP. Like, everybody wanted to know who Rachel was. Every homegirl I got was like, man, I'd love to hang out with Rachel. Like, it was one of those things. It was an instant impact. What are your memories of those early days, 2022, 2021, 2022-ish?
Y'all, Kyron is gassing me because this week I'm the one a little under the weather, but I appreciate the love. Give me the love.
I know.
But for real, like school, Best Man recorded on my phone and had paper notes. And was extremely nervous. And when you consider that was what, 3 years ago?
I think December 2021. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So
or December 2020, one of the two.
Okay. Either way, not that long ago. We could have been typing our notes on computers and on our phones. But we still was pencil and paper in it. So shout out to that. But I was very nervous. And again, I just wanted to support. I always liked the concept of what was going on. And even though, to you guys' point, the initial episodes weren't as organic, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I was just happy to be a part. I was happy school and Rich when y'all asked me to be a permanent fixture. People who don't know, my background is in communications. I thought that I would be doing some sort of media. That's what my actual degrees are in. So
funny how that works out.
How that works out. And I work in a completely different field in my real life. So this is a very happy balance of the two. I get to talk shit with people that I love about things that I love, i.e. movies and TV. So I'm just really, really, really appreciative. Did I think that we would make it to 100? I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I like
only
that.
Because not even necessarily because of me or school's dedication, because Kyron or Rich, K Rich, he loves this shit so much. Yeah. So even when you don't feel like it, he is such a force that will really push you, and you find yourself in a groove, and you find yourself with renewed energy that you didn't really have going into it. Even like now, I just told y'all I was sick. If y'all would have seen me about 20 minutes ago, y'all would have been like, "Oh, you sure?"
Yeah.
But here we are again with the people that we care about, doing something that we care about, and I just care about absolutely love. So shout out to us.
Hey, shout out to us, man. I appreciate Rachel. I accept that. I received that. Because I guess I never answered the question. I don't know if I ever thought about something like 100. It was just something. It's weird to explain because to sit down, and school was with me. We were literally in the room, and I said it so casually, like, let's run to the store real quick. I just kind of like, hey, let's just start this podcast. We were having a discussion. Like I said, we'll get into the origin. But we're having a discussion about something like, hey, we should just start a podcast. We know this. We do this all the time. Let's just do it. And it's one thing to say something, but to actually just look up, figure out how to do it, what we need. All right, we got everything we need right here. Let's schedule this and kind of have a game plan. And the ideas just started flowing naturally. Yeah. School can remember that. And I remember just coming up with the name, The Culture Garden. That just came so naturally, and finding the Denzel clip. It just kind of, it was all lined up perfectly. Like I was supposed to see it. And it's one of the things where I like you said, Rachel, I love doing it, and I don't think about not doing it. Like it's a lot of things you can start, and it's like, all right, that was cool. You know what I mean? I got that out my system. This is one of those things where I don't. There was never a time where I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. It would feel weird. There's a lot of things I put down in the past. Trust me, a lot of things I put down, and I felt perfectly fine with it. It would feel weird if I didn't record, if we didn't have Culture Garden. And like anything else in life, I know that one day things will happen, and it's all going to be for the greater good and all for the better. It means growth. I am proud of what we built because I think the three of us have made this a brand to where Culture Garden doesn't have to leave with us. Like I think there could be people out there you could entrust with the brand and continue to talk about this love of movies. Of course, while we still have ownership stake. However, we don't have to necessarily show up the whole time.
For sure.
And all that. So it's just been a crazy ride. And I couldn't imagine. It's surreal to think about 100 because I was looking at the stats. I sent this to Rachel a while ago because it is kind of sobering when you think about it in this sense. But there are millions of podcasts out there.
Yeah.
And on average, out of all the podcasts that exist, on average, 6.12% make it to 100 episodes.
Sheesh.
It's listen, when you first start, it just seems like, hey, I'm just about to talk some shit, but to come up with a structure for a show, to be dedicated to do it week in, week out, to just say, hey, I got other stuff in life going on. I can't do this.
Right.
It's so easy to trip and fall over those, but to be part of that 6% that made it to 100 episodes that then just dust off the mic and said, oh, we done with it. And I've seen good podcasts do that. I've seen podcasts that I've enjoyed that just say, life is life and we just gonna hang this up. And I was like, damn, like that's it.
That's it.
And I never wanted to go out like that. And I've said this before. One of my biggest fears was talking to somebody or bumping into somebody and hey, what happened to that podcast you used to have? And so here we are.
I believe you said that when we first start talking about doing the podcast. That was one of your things. Like, bro, I don't want to do this podcast if we ain't gonna go all the way because I don't want to run into somebody 6 months, a year from now, and they talking about hey, when you on that one podcast? And
you know why though? Because I knew from jump that we had something. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it just came, like I said, it just came so naturally. Like the way we structured the show, one of my fondest memories of Culture Garden is me and you sitting in that room watching the 5 Heartbeats documentary and just taking notes together and really like brainstorming of what this thing's gonna look like. Because we knew off rip 5 Heartbeats was gonna be our first movie. Like we knew that. I think it was episode 3. We had our intro episode, we did a Will Smith episode, and then we did 5 Heartbeats. And just doing the research, and then I think you firsthand seeing like, oh, this nigga Rich is on some other shit. Because we wrote down everything. And even the way I was on you, like just kind of like, yo, this is I don't know how many times I told you I hit you with hey man, if you don't want to do this shit for real, that's cool. Just let me know because I'm in it.
Yep.
And I know there's times the school is like, man, fuck this nigga. But it's all good, man. I'm used to that because we brothers, man. We've been doing, man, me and school are locked in forever. But I will just say this before we start getting into the actual ratings. I mean this sincerely. Like Ray P, motherfucking GOAT.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Straight up.
And I've said that from day one. And school hit me up.
Yeah.
School hit me up this week because he just randomly hit me up on some like, hey, bro, I've been starting to watch him from the beginning. And I told him, like, you crazy, nigga. You ain't gonna finish all these by 100. And we were just casually talking. And like, man, we sound so different and we've grown so much. He was like, hey, bro, from day one, Ray P was Ray P.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yep.
She won.
You fit right in.
So
I love
like
you fit right in. And I want to send a shout out to my big cousin Angel, Rich's older sister. She was our first guest. And I think that was the very first time where there were no edits. Like we just went in and what it was is what it was. And I think that was that time where we're like, yo, that you need that woman's point of view. Like that's perfect. And then we did, the best man, and it took off from there. I was like, yo, this is amazing. Then Soul Food stamped it. Like, okay, we need her. Yep.
Yeah. Because I remember that the original plot was me in school, and whenever we needed a woman's point of view, we had some women to pull from. And then, like you said, you came in Best Man, and it immediately was like an instant classic.
Yeah.
And then Soul Food, with us being on opposite sides of how we feel about that movie, that just gave a whole different perspective. And in school, just hit me with it because I thought about it, and I was like, man, I don't want to step on any toes. It was like, nah, brother, like, this is gonna take it somewhere else. So obviously, spawned into We Got Y'all, and just anytime I get the opportunity, man, it's such a pleasure. So y'all make this easy, like make this very easy to show up, man. But cheers, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hundun.
Aren't you glad we broke Rich out of that? We need to re-record the whole episode.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. Rachel, you are a big part of that. And that's part of I've told y'all this isn't. I think everybody who listens to us on the regular knows how much like me and Rachel mean to each other in our relationship. And part of relationships and friendships is knowing who these people are, knowing who your friends are. And I knew Rachel well enough to know I got one or two of these, and this shit ain't going. Because I remember we did it twice. I think we did it on. I know for sure we did 2 Love and Basketball episodes, and part of me wants to say we did 2 ATLs. I can't remember for sure. There were 2 episodes that we did.
Yeah.
And I remember after the second Love and Basketball episode, I remember looking at Rachel and just think she ain't say shit, but you just know your nigga. I'm like, nope, that's it. And you helped me embrace that this is what it is. And it kind of went from there. So that's funny. Because if it was just me in school, I probably would have still been on it. School would have had to tell me. School would have had to like, hey, bro, like, I need you to sit down real quick. We need to talk.
Yeah.
He would have had to have one of them talks with me. And I'm glad I did because that was insane. We never would have made it to 100 had I kept doing that.
Hell no. There was one, I can't remember which one of those it was. I said, go just listen to both of them. And the one that we recorded first was the better episode.
Yep, I remember that.
I was loving basketball. I was loving basketball. And you were absolutely right. Because there was a fear at the beginning of, school knows this, because we used to talk about it all the time. Man, I meant to say this. I should have said this. I had notes on that, and then I just grew into whatever it is. What it is.
Yeah.
So we got through it, man. We made it, and I do want to just kind of transition. I want to give a shout out to some guests that we've had. School, you kind of started the way. Our very first guest, my big sis Angel. We appreciate you. She has been on once for Love Jones.
Yeah.
We've had Doug.
Yeah.
Doug, you fresh, man. Doug was on for Barbershop, another early episode, pre-YouTube days. My brother, Good. Obviously, I did a lot of the recordings at Mama Goody's crib, Mama's Goody's studio, and Carlito's Way. He was a guest on there for us. My boy Dave Whitehead, man, Sneaker Dave, as he's affectionately known, a legend. He was on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode with us. We have more things coming. He just reached out to me recently and said, man, we got to get those ideas in the tuck. And I'm like, I got you. All right, I'm already working on it. So we're definitely going to do that. Who else we got? We have Ralph. Shout out to my brother Ralph, man. Lean on Me. He's been on one episode with us. Spike Lou. Has been on an episode. He's been on The Town with me. He was also on our Friends and Family episode. That conversation was so good that we broke it into its own episode. Of course, you can't talk about Spike Lou without mentioning Mo. He was on our Bad Boys episode. He was also on You Got Served. Shout out to Ash, who was on You Got Served with him. And he was also on Blue Streak with School. He's been on 3 episodes and some other non-movie episodes that we've released. Who else we got? We got Chaz.
He was on that classic SGP episode of
Love Don't Cost a Thing. That is a classic.
That's a classic.
That is a classic one. I ain't gonna hold you, man. We got Chaz, man, my brother Boog. He was on Shaft and Entourage, those films. So he's been on here twice. And then Mia has been on here 3 times. So Candyman, Mean Girls, and Get Out. And then Brian just holds the crown for most guest appearances. I've always said it. I met Brian in 2008, and if I was to start a movie podcast with anyone else, it would have been him. Like that's how we met. That's how we bonded. That's how we became friends. From random co-workers at Liz to me being in his wedding and like real friends, man. That's my dog. He texted me today about some Soprano shit. But
you said that in the House Party episode I was listening to.
Yeah, man. So he's on House Party, which is did explicitly. As soon as our Will Smith episode dropped, explicitly he reached out to me and said, "When y'all do House Party, you need to be on there." And it was a hell of an episode too. House Party, No Country for Old Men, Drumline, American Gangster, and Beverly Hills Cop.
Man.
He has been on 5 episodes, so he holds the title. Now I want to talk about ratings and just your overall movies. If there's movies you surprised weren't in your top 10, and if there's any sneaky movies, who wants to start? School, myself, Rachel.
Go ahead, School.
I was gonna say go ahead, Rich.
Rewatch.
All right. So I'll go through my top 10.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So what I did was I wrote down every film that got an 8.0 or above.
Okay.
Right. So there's an honorable mention. All the honorable mentions for me are going to be 8s. So I've given out 9 8s throughout the 100 episodes.
Okay.
Those 8s were Black Panther, This Christmas, Juice, What's Love Got to Do with It, Brown Sugar, Creed, Menace to Society, Origin, and The Equalizer.
Okay.
All right. So those are my honorable mention, my 8s.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, highest rated film for me, Bad Boys at 8.1. Also tied at number 10, and we can give it to number 9 because it came first. Eats by You, 8.1.
Mm-hmm.
Ray coming in at number 8 with an 8.2. Get Out coming in at number 7 with 8.3. American Gangster at number 6 with an 8.4. Now we get to the top 5, which I had 3 that were 8.5s. If Beale Street Could Talk, The Temptations, Best Man, Training Day, Love and Basketball. And I think it's important. I should have said this as a caveat. There's only one movie that got a 10 on the Culture Garden. It was Life. All 3 of us gave Life a 10.
Yeah.
So this is the next 10 list.
Yeah.
So I literally had all 8.5s. Love and Basketball, Training Day, Best Man, Temptations, and Beale Street Could Talk. I made something called the 7.9 Club.
Okay.
which I want to take a look and see. Only me and Rachel had them. Rachel had 1, I had 3.
Okay.
They were right on the brink. I had The Town, The Inkwell, and Above the Rim. All of them should be in the 8 categories, at least. They should all be pushed up. But when I look at the films that I love to watch, actually, I'm sorry. I messed up. Those 8.5s weren't my number 1. My number 1 was a number 9. My bad. My number 1 was a 9. Boomerang.
Boomerang. Okay.
Boomerang was number 9. So those are it, and I would move all of those 7.9s at least to an 8. I'm a little bit surprised that Boomerang's my number 1. I'd have to think about this list and really see. But it does match up with the movies that I watch the most.
Yeah,
it makes sense that these are my 10. These are serial. I'm serial rewatching all of these. I never get tired of them, the whole 9. So we'll go with School next.
Okay.
We'll go to School next, man. School, you are the most strict with the with the grades, with the ratings. We're gonna get to your honorable mention. You have 5 8s.
Okay.
Training Day, Black Panther, Best Man, Juice, and Liar Liar.
Okay. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Your top 10, number 10, with an 8.1 rating, Mean Girls. And I remember being on your ass because I think we did, I forget what movie we did after Mean Girls, but you rated it lower. Or you rated it right there. And I said, you mean to tell me these two are the same? And you brushed me off and said, yes, Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Mean Girls at 8.1. At number 9, you have Boomerang at 8.2. 8, you have 2 movies. So 8 and 7. You have Eve's Bayou and Hustle and Flow at 8.2.
Okay.
I'm sorry, those 3. I'm sorry. Mean Girls 8.1. Boomerang, Hustle and Flow, Eve's Bayou 8.2.
Okay.
So number 6, 5 and 6, you have 2 movies at 8.3. Menace to Society and American Gangster.
Okay. Sounds right.
Number 4 and 3, because you have 2 movies at 8.5. What's Love Got to Do with It and Love and Basketball. Number 2 for you is If Beale Street Could Talk at 8.7.
Yeah.
And you had 1 9, which was The Temptations.
Yes, sir.
Makes perfect sense for you.
It is.
Makes perfect sense for you.
Yep.
You had no 7.9s.
Nah.
So nothing close. Nothing close for you.
Also,
Rachel,
Rich, I'm glad you did this breakdown. I was going to say, because I think I totally misunderstood the assignment.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of our favorite episodes, not ratings. But this is just something I wanted to make sure we wrote down.
Perfect.
Just to keep record of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to keep record of it. Yeah. I didn't expect y'all to do this. I just wanted to do it for fun.
For sure.
Rachel,
I'm ready.
you love movies.
I do.
You have the most films with 8 or higher. And looking back at your list, I wish I would have rated my movies like you, because there's a lot of movies that are like 7.7s with me.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been 8.1s, 8 evens. So we'll get into your list.
I be knowing.
I think you're gonna be shocked. I think you're gonna be shocked that you're number one.
Oh, me too, low key.
I was surprised that you're number one. No, I think you gave that like a 5. You gave it a higher rating in school because of your love for Hate Watch.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start with the 7.9 club. You had one movie that was a 7.9. I want to know if you would bump it up to an 8 or higher. Crazy Stupid Love was a 7.9 for you.
Damn, I love that movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know after we finish the rest of my list.
Here's your honorable mentions. Your honorable mentions range from 8 to 8.3.
Damn. That's high. Okay.
Yeah. Mean Girls, Eve's Bayou, Mo Better Blues, Juice, and ATL are all 8s.
Okay, solid.
You have 2 8.1s. The Inkwell and Sylvie's Love.
I'm gonna move Sylvie's Love down. Okay.
You have 1 8.2, which is Boomerang.
Okay.
And you have 2 8.3s, Origin and Get Out.
Okay.
Now, into your top 10. You have a lot of 8.5s, but you have 1 8.4, which was Ray. You have 6 8.5s. All right, so this is going to take that, what's that, the 4 through, or 5, 6 through 9 spot?
Yeah. Sure.
No, that's not right. 4 through 9. 4 through 9 spots are 8.5s.
Sure.
American Gangster, The Temptations, Creed, What's Love Got to Do with It, Training Day, and Love and Basketball.
Okay.
You have 2 9s, which are going to be your 2 and 3 spot. The Best Man and If Beale Street Could Talk. And for fairness, if you're listening to old episodes, we did not have this rating system when we recorded The Best Man. What happened was when we recorded The Best Man Holiday, we retroactively went back and I asked them what they would rate Best Man. So that's where that 9 comes from, in case you're listening and wondering, like, hey, they didn't have this back then. So you had Best Man and If Beale Street Could Talk at number 9, and your number 1 movie at a 9.5. And I don't guarantee, but I'm pretty certain you were in the moment. Black Panther, 9.5.
Yeah, she's in the moment.
She was in the moment.
I was definitely in the moment, because honestly, I'm moving Love and Basketball. I'm moving Black Panther, which, classic.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm moving Crazy Stupid Love. I'm moving Sylvie's Love. I don't know.
That was really good.
Sylvie's Love is so good, but is it in my top? No. In the lowest of keys, I might move Origin too.
Up or down?
Down. It's great.
Origin's a movie you watch once every 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
It's just not. And it's funny because I think one of your favorite movies, who, like I said, got the 2 or 3 spot, however you want to rate it, If Beale Street Could Talk. It's kind of similar. It's a heavy movie, but it's such a great movie.
So beautiful.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. Where is the Inkwell in there?
Inkwell was your honorable mention. It was a 8.8. It was an 8.1.
Give it a 9. I fucking love the Inkwell.
So that's a perfect transition, really, because I want to just kind of transition into, forget the ratings, just the overall episodes. Like those episodes, Rachel and myself have a thing where we'll finish sometimes and we're just like, man, that just felt good.
Yeah.
Like that just felt good. Whether it's We Got Y'all, whether it's here. And I've had those moments. And now I'm curious to know if you just had any episodes that aren't necessarily the best movies, but you feel the episodes. Like if I was going to try to get someone hip to the Culture Garden, I would tell them to listen to these episodes.
Number 1, Best Man.
Best Man. I still think 100 episodes in, I still think The Best Man is our best episode because it's like it was the first one. It was like the first classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was the first classic in my opinion, and you always got to give a little bit of homage to that first.
Queen and Slim.
I was gonna say that.
Queen Slim was it's a great episode.
Great episode.
Mo references Queen and Slim all the time.
Yeah. Great episode. Great episode.
Shout out to them. Inkwell.
Inkwell. Absolutely. You know, I was gonna say that one. I had to send y'all a text after that one. I wasn't even in that episode. I'm so glad I wasn't. I believe I was celebrating.
That was your anniversary, I think.
Yeah. And there's nothing, not a fucking nickel, a dime, nothing I could have brought to that episode. Y'all killed it. Seriously. It's in my top.
We appreciate you.
We love you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that.
Love you. Yeah.
I can't believe that Malcolm and Marie hasn't been named. I think we absolutely smoked that.
I had a list too. Hold on, let me see.
Temptations
was absolutely that. Temptations was really good.
I think What's Love Got to Do with It was really good.
I like Thin Line.
Thin Line's a sneaky good episode.
Yeah.
Nutty Professor with me in school.
Y'all did
Nutty
that.
Professor
was really good too.
We had a lot of fun recording this. I'm gonna tell you one of my low key. I wouldn't put this episode up there with the others, but I just want to shout it out because it's one of the few times this has happened. When we did All About the Benjamins, Rachel gave like one of the best compliments. She was like, I'm enjoying this because of how much y'all enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those me in school movies, and Rachel was just there, but she was like, hold on, I'm fucking with y'all conversation low-key more than the movie. Like, I'm glad I'm here.
For sure.
And that was a fun episode to do.
That's what it's all about.
Nutty Professor for sure was one of mine that was in there. I'll tell you what's really, as much as I love this movie, I had never really went back to listen to it except once, and I was blown away with how good it was. Episode 25, Training Day. Training Day was a phenomenal conversation.
Okay.
Like everything that I ever wanted to say about a movie I love that much, it was all left on the table.
Yeah.
And all three of us, I thought we were cooking that entire episode. So that's one of my, like, I don't want to say sneaky because it's Training Day.
Yeah.
But it was just a fun episode for sure.
Now I'm going to have to mention a Me and You episode, Rich. The 5 Heartbeats, man. I don't know when the last time you listened to it, but I told you I re-list. For it to be especially as structured as it is and knowing what I know behind the scenes, like if I was just a regular person and I just happened to turn it on, like I would never have known. That's just a great episode. The chemistry, you can hear the love and passion we have for that fucking movie.
Yeah.
So much so that I'm ready to redo the episode again and include Ray. Like I'm ready. Like because I think we one thing that we did do a lot of was lean on that documentary a lot, and we didn't really do that structured thing. You know, we did a little bit of it, but it definitely can be another episode, and it won't even hinder that one. You know, it won't shit on that one for sure. So
at 2.0, Rachel and myself have already talked about the need for the 2.0.
Yeah.
That's one. Speaking of House Party, that's another fun episode that I think we did. Mo Better Blues was one of my favorites. Mo Better Blues is one of my personal favorite Culture Garden episodes. That was a great conversation. New Jersey Drive is low-key slept on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
New Jersey Drive is low-key slept on. The Photograph.
Yes.
And then I would also say, of course, Eve's Bayou.
Man.
You know what? I got one more. I got two more. Yeah. Two more that I really want to talk or give credit to. 3. I'm sorry.
No,
Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
Hustle and Flow. Above the Rim.
Yeah.
And Focus. Focus was a fun
Focus was a fun episode.
Focus was a fun episode.
I'm gonna add one more.
Go ahead.
What you got?
No Country for Old Men, man.
Oh yeah, that was a great.
That was another great episode. So,
I did really good.
Yeah,
for sure, man. We've had a ton of them. Every romance movie that Rachel and myself have done, like from Beyond the Lights to even The High Note, that's just I think just Rachel and myself just have a bag with that. So I've enjoyed every single one of them. Even the movies like What Men Want that aren't necessarily the best movies, we still were able to find good conversation. So yeah, those. You said what?
Shout out to Risa Tisa.
Yeah, shout out to Risa Tisa, man. Oh, snap. Shout out to Risa Tisa.
And shout out to all the lovers.
Shout out to all the lovers out there, man. You know, the whirlwind spin without y'all. But those are just some of our personal favorites, man. Check it out. I know we spent the first good chunk of this episode talking about just our journey, what 100 means. But it's a milestone, man, because once we do it, we trekking on to the next thing. So I wanted to make sure we stay present and we're able to enjoy that. What you about to say, School?
Now I want to say this real quick. I want to thank both of y'all because, you know, we talked about it earlier. I took a little hiatus, you know, had to get some real life shit going and figure some things out. And again, check out that episode if you want to know the story. And I know a lot of people have been hitting my DMs on Instagram, and I'm really not on social media right now. I just, you know, got a lot of shit to figure out. But I want to thank you two because, you know, you two held it down. You always do, but it meant so much more because you guys didn't know what the future held. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys didn't know. I didn't know what the future held for me.
Yeah.
But even with that, you guys came in here, held the brand down, did it, you know, and here we are, episode 100, and I'm welcome back. You know, I didn't think that I wouldn't be, but you know, man, words can't express how much y'all mean to me and how much I love you guys and how much I love this, you know, this podcast, this chemistry, just everything, man. It truly, really means a lot to me. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all for sure. So
we love you, School. It's a family thing.
Yeah.
It's always love, man. You know.
Hey, shout out to Kingdom Come. That might be a good one too. But go ahead.
Nah. Way to fuck up a moment, School. But nah, you already know what it is, man. It's love, and there's no way we could have done 100 without you here.
Absolutely.
You know, and for those out there wondering, you know, School's obviously figuring out life stuff and going about it. Yeah. He'll be on when he's on, and when he ain't. Yeah, and we'll just take it at a time. He knows this. There's certain movies that I would never even touch without School. Sure. And we'll just make sure it aligns with the schedule so he can do everything he needs to do. And all of this is extracurricular. So, absolutely, you know, but he's back when he wants to be back and when he has time to be back. And other than that, man, the rest of our village, man, whether it's Mo, Mia, Brian, Spike, whoever, man, thanks for being there for us when we do need it. When I need a break, when Ray P needs a break, you know, it's always good to have people you can count on to just show up and make sure we get content out. So with that being said, I love the both of you dearly. And let's go ahead and get into episode 100.
Let's get it.
I should have said this at the top because we've been cussing a lot, but there will be explicit content and spoiler alerts.
Sorry, Mother Sophia.
Yeah, apologies, man. Apologies. But as you can see, today's film, episode 100, is four brothers.
Yeah.
The synopsis of the film: when their adoptive mother is gunned down in a store robbery, four brothers decide to investigate the murder and find the killers themselves, but not all is what it seems. Probably wondering why this movie at 100. Well, that goes to how the Culture Garden started indirectly. School, I'll go ahead and say it. If you want to add anything in, please feel free.
Go ahead.
The reasons Culture Garden even started is there was a mini podcast, and this is no diss because I'm a big fan of this person. There was a podcast by Shea Serrano.
Yeah.
It was a mini series, like a 6-episode mini series podcast called Villains. The whole premise was to take a look at certain movie villains. Hannibal Lecter. They did an episode on Nino Brown and the whole nine. He just incredibly done. But I'm not a big social media guy, and I'm damn sure not a comment section or reach out to people, especially people with, you know, a ton of followers. I'm not that guy. I'm just not that person, right? But I love film so much that I reached out to Shea Serrano, and School, we've always talked about it for years. I reached out to Shay and I said, "Hey man, you should do a villains episode on Victor Sweet. I think Victor Sweet's one of the best movie villains of all time. And it'll be interesting just to kind of use your concept and break it down." No response. Me and School had talked about it. No response. And I'm like, damn, man. And we literally was in school room, and I just kind of looked at him. I mean, we should just start our own podcast.
Yep.
So in a roundabout way, it started because of Four Brothers, because we wanted to hear someone talk about Victor Sweet, and they couldn't get it done in school. If you remember, I looked at you like, man, fuck waiting on somebody. Let's just do it ourselves. Let's do it ourselves. It. And like I said, it sounds good when you say it out loud, but to actually do it and then fall in love with it and just not imagine yourself not doing it, it's crazy. So that is how we landed on Four Brothers. We just thought it meant a lot to where we are today. School, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that story.
Nah, man, you got it all. You got it, man. I think we quote a Victor Sweet line once every 2 weeks or so. I'll call you with a Victor Sweet line for sure.
Victor Sweet has one of the best movie lines of history.
Yeah,
I say that to this day, and we'll talk about it. And what's crazy is, and I'm sure we'll talk about it at school. I'm sure you'll have it written down.
Yeah.
For as many times as I've seen this movie, and it's been a while, the fact that he only showed up in 3 scenes.
3 scenes.
Like 48 minutes into the movie is crazy for how memorable of a character he is.
Crazy.
Shout out man, shout out to Shay Serrano, and I mean that sincerely. Thanks for not writing me back, because if you did, I probably would have never even thought about starting the podcast.
Yeah.
Not in this manner, but it ended up dope. As far as the stats go, the film was released in theaters August 12th of 2005. Lord knows what I was doing August 12th of 2005. Man. That was a crazy time for your boy, man. I was just graduated high school, on my way to college. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Stop it. It was directed by the legend, John Singleton.
Yeah.
It's only the second John Singleton film we've done outside of Shaft, which we did with Chaz. It was written by David Elliott and Paul Lovett. You probably would know this as their work. They've written a couple other things, but this is pretty much the biggest thing. Had a budget of an estimated $45 million, and it grossed $92.3 million worldwide, 21.1 million opening weekend. It opened up at #1 in the box office behind The Skeleton Key, Dukes of Hazzard, and The Wedding Crashers. Talk about a time capsule right there. Yeah. And it also stayed in the top 10 for the first 5 weeks. It was in theaters. It was in theaters for a total of 15 weeks. It is currently streaming on Prime Video or Paramount Plus if you were looking for it. Yeah. As far as awards go, there were 9 nominations and 5 wins. Now, this is going to be funny, but there's context. So Terrence Howard won a BET Award for Best Actor, but for context, it's because of the year he had.
Yeah.
He was in Crash, Lackawanna Blues, Get Rich or Die Trying, Hustle and Flow, and this.
Yeah,
so it was a collection. I don't want people thinking like he won for this because, he did his thing, but it wasn't no Best Actor performance.
Nah.
Hey, I'm not going to hold you. I have written down in my random section, I don't think we talk enough about Terrence Howard.
No, and we've done a lot of Terrence Howard movies, and I feel like we still haven't talked enough about him.
He's a genius.
He might
be crazy, but I think that he really is a genius.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Real.
He's a dog.
And if you look at all 5 of these movies I mentioned, so between Four Brothers, Lackawanna Blues, which is slept on.
Pause.
Incredibly slept on.
One of my favorite movies in the world. If we ever do it, I would ask my daddy to sit on that shit. Like, I love Lackawanna Blues. Okay. Go ahead.
No, for y'all who haven't seen it or wondering what we're talking about, when I say one of the best movies you've probably never seen, like it's one of those. And it's got a cast. It's got a cast on it. It was one of those HBO films, kind of like Disappearing Acts.
Yeah.
One of those HBO films. It wasn't a theatrical thing. It was, man, I'm telling you, slept on. So he was in that Get Rich or Die Trying, which for whatever it is, he still bodied that role. He bodied Hustle and Flow. Y'all know how I feel about Crash, but he's singing Crash too. So incredible year for him. Taraji P. Henson, same for her. She won Best Actress, but because of Hustle and Flow and something new in this movie. As far as the NAACP Image Awards, John Singleton won for Outstanding Director, and our good friends Black Reel Awards. There were 4 nominations, 0 wins, but they were nominated for Best Director, Best Original Soundtrack, Best Film, and Best Ensemble Cast. Yeah. Speaking of cast, So I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to read the cast, but I'm also going, because there's a lot of this person was almost in it. So I'm going to acknowledge that when I mention this. So we're going to start with Mark Wahlberg as Bobby Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got a lot of Mark Wahlberg thoughts. We'll get to it. I don't know if you want to call it Mark Wahlberg or Bobby Mercer, but it's kind of hard to separate the two, especially if you know anything about Mark Wahlberg's past.
That's what I also have in my notes. And given the time that we're in right now, it made it a little difficult for a movie that I absolutely love. Okay.
Yeah, it man, tell me about it. So there were people who were considered, and when I say considered, that means their name was tossed around. Doesn't mean there was any real consideration. And then there was 3 people who actually turned down this role before Mark got it.
Yeah.
So as far as people being considered, Brad Pitt, Vin Diesel, Jeremy Renner, and Bradley Cooper. Do any of those interest you in this role?
It was 2 other names too.
No, there's 3 that were actually offered.
Okay,
going over to consider.
Okay, got you. My bad.
Hindsight, only because of A Star Is Born.
Yep.
Would I have been interested in seeing Bradley Cooper?
That's the only name that I thought.
Huh?
That's the only name that I was thinking. Like,
yeah, but that's even like a recent development for me. If I would have known that, let's see, 3 weeks ago, I might. Well, no, whenever I saw, if I would have known that in 2005, I might not even think Bradley Cooper. But after Silver Linings and whatever movie I just said, A Star Is Born. I would like to see what Bradley would have done with Bobby Mercer.
It would have been interesting. This is Wedding Crashers, Bradley Cooper, so it's very interesting.
In the lowest of keys, Brad Pitt could have done it.
I feel like Vin Diesel and Mark Wahlberg cancel each other out. I feel like they would have. I feel like it would have been the exact same performance.
It's too much of the same, for sure. For sure. Okay, who are the other names?
So these are the 3 who were actually offered and they turned down the role. Ethan Hawke, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
Oh, so the same person.
Yeah.
Yep. I was just about to say, yep.
Give me Ethan Hawke though. Go ahead.
Give me Ethan Hawke. I said the same. Give me Ethan Hawke.
Yeah. I would. Yeah. Give me Ethan.
Tyrese Gibson as Angel Mercer. Do you want to know who was in talks to play Angel Mercer before Tyrese was cast?
I seen it.
Who?
We got to have a conversation about him one day.
What you want me to say?
We got to have a conversation about him because people hate him, and we really got to talk about why.
Little Mouth.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Yeah. People hate Anthony Mackie.
I think it's crossover.
Don't bring the crossover.
They say that he's not nice in person.
All right, so I heard a story. I heard it. All right, so this is 100% factual. I'm not sure if anybody's ever going to run into Anthony Mackie, but I mean this wholeheartedly, and I'm not joking. I'm not trolling. If you ever run into Anthony Mackie, do not ask him for shit. Don't ask him for a picture. You might not even tell him you a fan. Just don't say nothing to that nigga. Give him a head nod, keep it moving, because that nigga he'll pretty much say fuck you, not in a rude way, but he is very good at making his boundaries when it comes to fans and sticking to them.
For sure.
Like a kid, there's a story of a kid coming up to him because he's from New Orleans.
Yeah.
A kid coming up to him at a Saints tailgate asking for an autograph. And that nigga said, nah. Pretty much did the Michael Jordan, man. I ain't taking a picture with no niggas. Yeah. Michael Jordan is silly for that shit. Mike said it, not me. Mike said it, not me. But now apparently there's a story about one kind of a fan ran up on him and she was like super drunk and threw up on him.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe triggered it or started it, but he is a notorious for I don't care who you are. Little kid, grandma, no.
Hey.
I'm glad
Shout out to Anthony Mackie. Shout out to Anthony Mackie, man. But I could not see him as Angel.
Nah.
At all.
I could see him as Jeremiah.
Well, that's funny. It's funny you said it because Andre Benjamin is Jeremiah Mercer. Someone was offered this role and turned it down. And at this point, he's the king of turning down roles.
Yeah.
Lorenz Tate. Lorenz Tate was offered the role of Jeremiah Mercer, which I could have seen. But this was the waist deep Biker Boys part of his career.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cool with Andre. For what this is, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. We have Garrett Hedlund as Jack Mercer, Terrence Howard as Lieutenant Green, Josh Charles as Detective Fowler, Sofia Vergara as Sophie, which I don't think we really needed that character other than to show Angel somebody. Chiwetel Ejiofor, one of the best actors that we don't talk about enough, as Victor Sweets. The studio, and this isn't really anything big because everybody wants this person. Studio wanted Denzel.
Of course.
For that role.
Of course. But you know what? I like Chiwetel for it.
Not only that, it's not enough scenes for Denzel. You're not about to get Denzel in no movie like this and get him 3 scenes.
Yeah.
It's like school. It's like our 5 Heartbeats episode. When they wanted Whitney Houston, they were pretty much like, ain't no enough scenes for Baby Doll for Whitney to be in this movie.
Right.
Like, unless they rewrote that whole character and that would have made it a different movie.
Yeah.
Taraji P. Henson is Camille Mercer, and then our fan favorite, everybody loves this woman. May she rest in peace. Betty White was considered for the role of Evelyn Mercer.
Yeah.
Which I could definitely see. And that you can see it because the actor they got to play her was pretty much a Betty White knockoff.
Yeah.
Respect to her.
He said a knockoff.
Respect to her. The actor who played Betty White, or the actor who played Betty White, the actor who played Evelyn Mercer.
Yeah.
Her name is Fionnuala Flanagan.
Yeah.
If I mispronounce her name, Fionnuala Flanagan. Shout out to her. She's still with us. Yeah, she's still with us.
John
to Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood.
She in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
A Southern genteel belle. You hear that accent just a little bit in whatever this is in Four Brothers.
Girl. Shout out to her. She got cast because John Singleton said she looked like his English teacher. So that's how she got it.
Yep. And there was a whole the opening scene. There was a whole thing with her getting shot that they cut. Like there's a deleted scene if you want to look at it on YouTube of how it was going to go down and it was going to be a lot more violent. But she just kind of gives you that feeling and that warmth. But nobody wants to see that. We don't want to see this nice old lady get gunned down with a shotty from close range. Yeah. All right, movie poster Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, definitely. Great movie poster.
I feel like it should be, but I don't think it deserves it. It's weird. I can't explain it.
It's nice. Beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns. It's a good poster, but it's not Hall of Fame for me.
It's in there. I think I don't know. I ain't heard your opinion on it, Rich, in a minute because I don't know how you feel about it now. But last time we talked about it, I feel like you was a little too hard on Four Brothers, but.
Oh yeah, I changed it. It was in, and it's funny. Me and Rachel had that conversation whether it was on episode or off episode, but about how sometimes you have to be in the mood. And I wasn't in a Four Brother mood the last time I watched Four Brothers some months back.
Yeah.
And it changed completely. I was all in once I started at this time and was talking about it. But yeah, I don't. It's a very good poster. Hall of Fame is that's cemented. And if I have to think about it, that means it's really not Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd argue someone for putting it in there. Or if I made a subgenre. Yeah, that's cool. Or if you made a subgenre of action movie Hall of Fame posters. Yeah, because the 4 of them looking, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in first experience, but it's very, very good. It's like that 7. It's a 7.9 of movie posters for me.
Okay.
It's right there.
I'll take that.
It's right there.
Right on the cusp.
I'll take
right on the cusp, yeah. So we got to ask, of course, classic or not?
No.
Am I going first?
Go ahead.
Let's go.
All right. Damn. No. But it's on the brink. It's on the brink. And let me tell you why. This movie was a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
This movie was a moment. Like I remember when this came out. I remember certain scenes, the reaction in the movie theater. Still watching this movie. So yeah, it's almost there. But it's not.
I agree. I didn't see it in the theaters. I saw it on TV at home for the first time, but a culturally significant, quote unquote, Niggas love Four Brothers, but I'm not giving it a classic. I don't know why. It doesn't make it quite over because it's a good runtime.
Yeah, it does.
It really is a good movie. Like you said, I mean, they could take Sofia Vergara out. We didn't need all of that. But other than that, like, it's a great movie, but it's something about it just doesn't give that classic. It just
I agree with you. I agree with both of you. School, you said it perfectly. It was a moment in 2005, and especially for our age range, teenage, that 18 to 29 demographic that they look for, that's going to go watch this.
Yeah.
100% was in my lane. I watched this multiple times in the theaters.
Yep.
School was with me for at least one or two of those trips.
Yep.
Rachel, I'll tell you exactly why you feel that way. And it comes directly from the mouth of the legendary John Singleton. This is one of those Saturday night special movies. You have a good time and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
It was never meant to be a classic good movie. It was just to be talked about in the sense that we're talking about it now. It's not a classic, as Rachel says, culturally relevant and significant. And I will never forget one of the best theater experiences, one of the better theater experiences I've had. But it's just not. It's just not. You know what I mean? Not everything can be a classic. So speaking of the origin, and I'll just run through this. Henry Hathaway made a film called The Sons of Katie Elder. Came out in 1965. Dean Martin, John Wayne. It's a Western. Kind of the same premise. Four brothers, except for they were real brothers. Obviously, 1965. They weren't doing this mixed shit. But they were four brothers who came back to avenge their dad's death and their mom getting swindled about some farmland, whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of drawn from that. If you look at it, it's got a lot of inspiration from Blaxploitation.
Oh, I love you so much, bro. You my nigga.
Like it's a Blaxploitation film, low key.
Yep.
I know we think of the 70s and we think of films like The Mac and all of that when we think of Blaxploitation. But this is and you look at it, I'm telling you, everybody right now, if you just look at this with the mindset of this is a Blaxploitation, it checks every box. And one thing that I think was brilliant to help that is John Singleton is purposely wanted to use Motown music from the 70s.
Yep.
Because he said that's the dark time of Motown.
Bro,
those are the dark days of Motown.
I'm so glad you said that, bro. I literally done watch this movie 6 times. The third time I watched it, that specifically that chase scene, the car scene, is when I was like, bro, this is a Blaxploitation film. Like,
it is.
It hit me just in that moment. That's crazy.
Because there's so much ridiculous shit that goes on, and you don't even mind it. Like, you don't even need an explanation for it. Like, it you just go with it. And that's 100% Blaxploitation. But yeah, Trouble Man by Marvin Gaye. Papa Was a Rolling Stone when Victor Sweet came in. You have Dancing Machine, I think, by Jackson 5. Shake Me, Wake Me, Four Tops. You have so much just classic music in this movie. I Wish It Would Rain by the Temptations. Like, there's just so much classic. The soundtrack, they did it, man. Inner City Blues. Marvin Gaye, man. Shout out to them. Man.
Shout out to Detroit. It's one thing that we always talk about is the city being a character in the film.
Hey, time out, Rachel.
We here?
Time out, Rachel.
Can't do it.
Not just that. Nah, hold on. This is Kwame Kilpatrick's Detroit, y'all.
Hey.
Do your research. That's all I'm going to say. Kwame Kilpatrick, boy. This is cool. This is, as someone who went to school at the University of Toledo, which is roughly 45 minutes to an hour away from Detroit.
Shout out to Detroit.
Shout out to Detroit. As someone who frequented the Kwame Kilpatrick bankrupt era of Detroit, not now, because Detroit's one of my favorite cities right now.
For sure.
That era of Detroit is exactly what Four Brothers looks like.
For sure.
Exactly. Like 100%. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Rachel, on that. Most of Wahlberg's lines he ad-libbed with Jack. So, I mean, a lot of making up stuff on the scene, which once again doesn't bode well for who was playing Bobby Mercer. I saw some real, I don't know if I want to tell that story because
don't do it.
Nah, because I just thought, all right, I'll talk about it here in a second. No day. So they filmed in Detroit. They filmed in Toronto. Mm-hmm. All the snow in the film was real.
Of course.
It never got warmer than 24 degrees while they were filming. Which is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Insane. So everything, even the fall and snow, none of that was CGI. That was all real.
Yeah.
So they had to work in the bitter cold. And originally there was not supposed to be a brother who died. All of them were supposed to survive, but they felt it would give a little bit more. You would be pulling for Victor Sweet to die more if one of the brothers died, and obviously they chose Jack. And there was talks of a sequel called Five Brothers. Would either one of you be interested in a sequel?
No.
Because
how one died, now you got an extra one. Come on, man. Get that shit out of here.
I don't even want to know. Yeah. First experiences. Rachel, we'll start with you because you didn't see this in the theater. I know me and School did. Do you remember the first time watching it and what your experience was with it?
I watched it on a HBO or something special, quote, not special, but that at home, in-home theater situation pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
05.
This was a TBS TNT classic.
Right. But I caught it when it was showing on the premium channels. That I do remember. Sure. At first time I watched it, I was like, oh, why didn't I go to the movies to actually see this? It was really good. I loved it.
Yeah.
School, what about you? First experience?
Definitely saw this in theaters with you. Again, like I said, this is a moment. Andre 3K on screen. Tyrese line ass. I think at the time Mark Wahlberg, we like Mark Wahlberg, so it was cool, man. It was a hell of an experience. Like I said, I remember certain scenes, and we'll get into it a little later, where the theater went crazy or just laughing at certain shit. Like, so yeah, hell yeah. I remember that. Great movie experience.
Yeah, same. This was School. You don't even want to really what a 18-year-old summertime rich.
Yeah,
it wasn't even rich back then. It was straight up K rich back then.
Beep.
You know the type of trash I was on. So I saw this multiple times. Like I've said this before, I probably had multiple dates. But I definitely went to go see it with School once or twice. I can't tell you how many times I saw it in theater, but it was just one of those. As a kid who loved to go to the movie theaters, and now you have the independence to take yourself to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
I constantly went, and I remember it's like scenes like the shootout at the house.
Yep.
Never forget that moment in the theater. Never. Like that was just an incredible moment. All that, like it was just, and just the time that it was in 05, I guess, for this concept to even work.
Yeah.
Like that was part of the appeal, I think. Like four brothers. Like what kind of brothers? Like they brothers? Like how does this work?
Yeah.
All of it.
Curiosity.
Just trying to see how they work. And obviously with Andre 3000 and Tyrese, being who they were at that time, and Andre was 2 years removed from one of the biggest songs ever with Hey Ya, and it was just very interesting dynamic. And like John Singleton said, it's just one of those movies you accept for what it is. And if you like action and just some shoot 'em up shit, revenge films, it's there. That's what you need. I will say this. We got to talk about this. We have to. They let Bobby slide with a lot of shit.
Hey, and what makes it worse is he improvised most of that shit.
So we have to get this into context, and I don't want to be the guy that always pulls someone's jacket, but I'm just giving context of what it is, because the way that and I literally was thinking this by myself watching this film. I just had a random thought, just casually. This motherfucker Wahlberg uses a hard ER. He's used it. He lets nigga fly. I'm not saying he does it today, but there's a period of time of life where he just let that shit fly. And if you know anything about him, his childhood, I think he was 15.
Yep.
Chasing black kids off the bus, kill the nigger. The next day, threw rocks at more black kids who were going somewhere. Try to get other kids to join in.
That nigga,
the Vietnamese man that he had the assault on, that most people know. That's probably the biggest one that people know about. He left him permanently blind in one eye.
Yeah.
Right. It's for him to for him to be who he is, and what's really fucked up about this? Like, I'm a Mark Wahlberg fan. Like, that's what's fucked up. Like, knowing that he's not good, for some reason, I guess I knew him before I knew that.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like, I don't like that, but it seems like he's come a long way from that. But when you watch films like this and just how comfortable he was, hold on, let me just give you a quick rundown of some of the stuff that he was letting fly.
Yeah, go ahead. Please.
Last thing she's thinking, she got dick in her right now, and the last thing she's thinking about is yo black ass. Black ass is very black. And that's very black. That's a very black phrase. Like, I've never really heard a white person say "yo black ass."
He called Tyrese in 3K going.
Hey man, listen, I got it written down. He did the La Vida Loca. Am I speaking Spanish? Racist as fuck.
Yeah.
Even though, you know what? The gorgeous black ladies of wrestling, Nitro and Midnight. Nitro's trying to get up, but Nitro's on him. Like, calling these men Nitro at Midnight.
Yeah.
And I guess in 05, if you were there, people, that was like the comedy. That was accepted in a sense. Like, you laughed that shit off. But man, in 2024, in November of 2024, post-election,
crazy.
It definitely makes you look at things from a different lens. It's like, shit.
You know what's crazier is, and I'm sure you've seen it, but Sophie was originally supposed to be an Asian.
An Asian character.
Bro, I couldn't imagine. Bro, the first thing that came to my head was that shit would have been wild.
Oh,
well, that's the story I was going to tell earlier. So Mark Wahlberg is the executive producer of Entourage. It's kind of loosely based on his experience in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And when we were doing the movie, there was a lot of talk between the show and if a movie is going to get made. There was some contract negotiations. And I saw this interview. It's really a video, really, not an interview, but he's walking through the airport, right? And just like walking through LAX. And if you've ever been to LAX, there are celebrities always in and out of LAX. But he's walking through and the TMZ cameras are there. They ask him questions about the movie. And people are randomly coming up for pictures. And he's taking the pictures while he's still talking to TMZ. And there was 2 women of like Asian descent. And I just thought to myself in real time, I'm like, yo, he's got to take those pictures.
Yeah.
He's got to take those pictures. Like, if you turn those pictures away, they're going to be on your ass. And it was just something that I just thought of when I thought about what he did to the Vietnamese man. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Take it for what you will, whatever. We're going to have a conversation soon on Another Week in the Books about separating the art from the artist. That's a prime example.
I gotta get on that
one of those things. So yeah, man. We here. Best scenes.
Go ahead, Ray. Let's get it.
Yeah. I wanted to say something if we backtrack just
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, no, it's not deep. Just it's not given credence when we think about like white boys who grow up in the hood. There are some that get quote unquote, not for me, but who get the pass, you know what I'm saying? And I would just assume, if we think especially 2005, Mark Wahlberg or Bobby Mercer in the hood of Detroit, in a house with your 2 brothers, it makes sense, his language, but it was fucking crazy because what the fuck? Who the fuck are you talking to? And again, to your point, it made it hard, and we talk a lot about being in the mood for a movie. So when I got to the rewatch, I was like, I am not in the fucking mood for this shit.
I get it.
And it's crazy. And to your point, I found out about the Mark Wahlberg history after I already knew him, after he was already a household name. And it was like, damn, how he was moving. That's wild. And so I always wonder, even though, to your point, Rich, he seems to have moved past and he's done so many things, just since 2005, you know what I'm saying? But I always wonder, like, do that shit ever really leave? Like, I feel like it's permeating under the surface somewhere. And if it's not, hey, God bless.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's hard to shake that ingrained shit. Shout out to Boston.
Yeah.
Right. That's that Southie. That's Boston all day. The one thing that I don't want to say makes me feel better because I don't want to trivialize those things that he did because they're all heinous and he should be held accountable. And I'm sure he has. And obviously, in the court of public opinion, this is a long time ago. This is 80s. So I'm not saying it like it happened last week and people are giving him a pass. So I want to put that in context. But he did 2 guns with Denzel. And Denzel don't play that shit.
For sure.
Denzel famously ran down on Quentin Tarantino when he said a Crimson Tide. Like, what's up with all this nigga shit you be writing about? Like, so they seemed, especially if you watch like the press run for that film, to have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
And he doesn't strike me as that now, but you can tell it's there. Like there's certain moments where, like, if you watch The Departed, like there's certain moments where it's just he's so Boston that you just can't help it. And listen, let me tell you this, man. And we'll move on to best scenes. I don't care if you have a house full of black brothers and black sisters. I don't care if you grew up with a black mama and black daddy. I don't care if every neighbor, not only on the block, but in the 5-mile radius was black. I don't care if your dog was black. I don't care if your wife is black. I don't care if you adopted black kids. You ain't never getting the house nigga off, ever.
Not ever.
Not ever.
You're not really getting any nigga off.
You're not getting any of that off. But to literally say, Harry Victor Sweet's house nigga?
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Never.
Crazy.
That's wild. I'm just saying, man, they did a lot with Bobby. I'm just saying.
Sometimes you don't. Bobby, Mark did a lot with Bobby.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and I promise we'll move on to best scenes. But here's the thing. It's almost like the Quentin Tarantino thing, right? I'm a huge Tarantino fan, but why? You didn't need it. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to hear you say that or do these things or add that language. And I get his concept. He's explained it. He's a storyteller. And yeah, sometimes you tell stories and there are people who say you can't write Django without having, the word nigga, ER in it. However, there are moments, Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite movies, very famous scene where it was just completely unnecessary, added nothing to the movie. I don't care how many times I've seen Pulp Fiction, I still cringe when that scene. Actually, I skip through it because why? And it's kind of like this with Bobby. Like, we understand that you grew up here, but you didn't give full black Detroit. You gave Detroit.
Yeah. Yep.
But you gave tough guy more than you did hood.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I never once thought you were Tommy Egan. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't grow Tommy, I felt, grew up around Puerto Ricans and black people.
And he ain't let no niggas fly.
Oh, yeah, he did. But go ahead.
He let one fly.
He let one fly.
No.
But I'm sure, but the difference is for a fact that wasn't him. And you could tell he probably wasn't comfortable because when he said it, his character wasn't even on screen, so many people missed it.
Yeah.
You couldn't see him say it. And that wasn't Joseph Sikora, but this felt like Mark Wahlberg. He tapped whole shit. But shout out to Mark, man. I'm still a fan. But
nigga said Salaikum Salam. Yeah, man.
Hey, man, he was on one. He led a lot of shit. But like I said, if you were around in 05, that shit got laughs.
It got laughs.
For sure.
Past 2016, not so much. But here we are.
Scenes.
Yeah,
we'll start it off how we always do. Opening. We loved it, not just for Evelyn's murder, but just for me, all of the brother introductions, again, because it let us know who we were dealing with, the differences between the two, their origin stories, their villain stories, whatever you want to call it. I just thought it was really powerful and a good way to intro everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Real quick, only thing I'll say about the intro, because you said it all, but obviously I like when movies... So the movies can use this thing where they have a character explain who it is that we're supposed to be looking at, and they use Lieutenant Green for that, give us a rundown of the brothers. And then they also can show you. And School mentioned No Country for Old Men. Like, they showed us who Anton Chigurh was. Like, they didn't tell us. We knew exactly. We saw him. This motherfucker crazy. It's funny because this movie did both, because they showed us who Victor Sweet was. They didn't really talk about Victor Sweet. They just showed us with that opening scene, which is one of the coldest character introductions ever. Yep. But I always look at Jack compared to the others, and I don't know. Jack probably harmed animals. Like he just seemed like he was into some other shit. Some like
nah.
And I know they suggested that he had a the rough childhood, which I'm sure there was some abuse there. But I always wonder, like, he never looked like a tough guy. Like, what kind of trouble were you getting into? And like I said, he was probably the missing cat posters. Jack know what happened to that cat.
Nah, I'm just gonna say I don't agree.
What you think Jack was into?
I think Jack just had a lot of trauma, bro. You could tell, like, in certain scenes when he gets touched, like these are his brothers, and when he gets touched, he kind of like he just don't. He been through some shit, bro. That's all. Like, even when he saw his mom and she reached out, she had to reach her hands out, like, I'm here, baby. Like,
no, I get that. I'm talking about for him to be a fuck up like the rest of the Mercers. That means he had to get in trouble, and I'm trying to think what kind of trouble was Jack getting into. That's what I say. Like, he had to be doing some shit weird.
I think Jack was skipping school.
Mild trouble.
Yeah, he might have been setting some shit on fire. I think
a lot of it was probably them two. You know what I mean? Like his brothers really getting in trouble, and he just was with them,
tagging along.
Yeah.
The little brother, the more sensitive of all of them. I won't call him a fairy, but that's the language that was used. He just was a bit more delicate. So I don't see him as a cat thief, but just a troubled youth.
and back to even that, like when you say the cat come up missing, another reason why I don't agree is the scene where they killed the contract killers. Like he turned away. Like that ain't what niggas that kill cats do.
Nah, that's fair. That's a good point. Yeah. Also, just around at that scene when Green and Fowler come to the repast, I guess technically at Jeremiah's house. When Green said, "Shit, your mom would have been happy that you came back for a funeral." The way that nigga said, "I ain't come back for no funeral." Like, right now what time it is, and exactly just establishing exactly who this character is. He's the leader, the natural leader, and the whole nine. And him having the line, "Come on, Green, I used to make a good living around here because cops like you couldn't find tits in the strip joint."
Hey.
Man, speaking of Detroit, man, shout out to Legends. Legends let me in there with sweatpants on it, man. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Detroit.
Yeah, shout out to Detroit, man. No place like it. School, what's your next scene?
My next scene is just when the brothers finally see Angel. When they get to see they little brother, the asshole couldn't even show up to mom's funeral. I think what's good about that scene is just it's natural. Like, yeah, you upset with your brother because he, you miss mom's funeral, but at the same time, I know if you miss mom's funeral, it was a legit reason, and I ain't seen you in many moons. Give me some love, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to it.
Yep. And they established, Jarhead, obviously he's a Marine.
Yes.
And they also established the fact that these aren't yes, they still consider themselves brothers and family.
Yeah.
Who knows how long they've talked to it? It's been since they've spoken to each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, they probably seen each other for the first time in some years.
Yeah.
Jeremiah set that up when he was talking to Camille. He said, it's hard to track that Bobby down. Like, I ain't seen him in a minute.
Wasn't Tyrese in the movie Jarhead as well? That came out around the same time?
No, he was in that movie with James Franco. He was in that movie with James Franco. I think it was about like the Navy's something. Admiral. Okay. I can't remember.
Battleship?
Nah, not Battleship. He was in something else. I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, no, he wasn't in Jarhead. Jarhead has one of the most. My skin crawls every time that scene comes up, man. When that nigga opens up that mail and it's that tape of his wife getting banged out.
Come on, man, chill.
Shout out to Jake Gyllenhaal. You said what?
It's your scene, ain't it?
Oh yeah, he said move on. So my scene is when they go get the drinks. And the guy tells them at the bar, like, you want to know what I heard? And then they go up to break up the party.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find some information. So the first time they actually getting active into this whole investigation, They killed Cornbread. They killed him. They
See?
didn't even do nothing. See, stuff like that. I hate that I chuckle at stuff like that because, like, bruh, come on, chill out. But it just shows they weren't playing games. Like, they came in with a very strict agenda. Pour gasoline first. Like, I know you ain't gonna tell me what I want to what I want to hear. So I'm gonna light your ass up on fire, and then you can tell me. Or you can. Now's the time for talking. Just trying to get that information. Bobby really would have lit them niggas up too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He really would have lit them on fire. And then we saw the court lights go off as well. Court lights go off, and that confirmed that we know more about this story. Or excuse me, there's more to the story that we don't know. And it kind of added a little extra element to the whole film and where we were going with it. But that's definitely one of my favorite scenes in the film. Also had to mention real quick, I just thought it was very funny that Bobby was the one to lead the prayer over dinner. He just doesn't seem like the praying type. I know you can't judge people who praise and who not, but for all the stuff we mentioned about Bobby Mercer, just for him to be the one to take that lead and naturally pray, that was just funny to me. He the leader. Like that's exactly why they did it.
Well, I was gonna say too. I definitely, I don't think you get to a point in your life, being a person like Bobby and not believing God. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely think he believed in God. It just. It just, but that's usually how it works. It's the person you least likely think that's gonna, lead the group in prayer. But that's neither here nor there. Rachel, what's your scene?
Sure. I was gonna say, Rich, you jumped ahead of me just a little bit, but I did have that whole basketball game.
That's later.
Now you right
before that.
When they bust into the court.
Yeah,
that's after. That's
actually after that, isn't it?
That's actually the next scene. Yeah, that basketball court is next.
Yeah,
so you're right on time. You're right on time. No.
So the basketball game, just because if you've ever been to, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be Detroit. If you go to the black schools basketball games, you know it's lit, and this crazy ass white man coming in with a gun is wild.
Crazy.
I'm surprised that there wasn't armed security there, because y'all know my parent used to work the public school games, and they was definitely armed, back in the day in 2005 for sure. So just that whole scene, them coming up, the brothers, Jack being the one to find the one brother, and then leading up into the projects or to the home, the apartments. People be sick in their dogs, like y'all really crazy. I think to your point, aside from the bust up in that club, we really see that Bobby is about that life. We see that he's crazy, because who thinks to chop a rope with somebody's climbing down in like that is your immediate thought? Like, oh, you really be fucking people up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
and I ain't gonna keep talking about this, Rich. But again, another point of Jack. Jack was the one that kept looking back when they was running away from old boy with his knee hanging out. Niggas that kill cats don't do that.
All right, Jack ain't. We confirmed Jack ain't killed no animals, man. He ain't killed no pets, man. I'm happy. He might have been he might have been a pyro or something. I don't know.
I could see that.
Oh yeah, you can see that.
But going to that scene, Rachel, the ball's on Bobby.
Yeah.
Because you laid out the scene perfectly. For those who, I'm not talking about your township back. I'm talking about public schools, whatever city, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Toledo, Detroit, public schools, especially Detroit. Go watch the Fab Five documentary. Jalen Rose played in the Detroit public school system. He talked about those games where niggas at the game with the gun in the jacket. Like, if you don't miss these 2 free throws, I'm going to see you.
Yeah.
Right? So definitely cops, police, everything that's there. But for him to walk on the court, and I have to laugh because I still say this when I go on a basketball court today. I got the rock now. I got this motherfucker now. Like, I don't know why. It's because of the way he said it. I always say it. Yeah. Those jerseys were trash. It reminds me of the next Friday episode, how much you hated Craig's jersey. Those look like the jerseys. If everybody remembers that commercial, when the dude told his coach that the ball didn't go out on him, those are the same jerseys they was wearing in that. Obviously, what is that? Aluminum? Shit doesn't even spin. That's just a time capsule 2005 thing, because we all had fake gaudy ass jewelry. And we all wanted spinners and stuff like that. So that was funny. And I thought it was very the crowd to go to that point you said, Rachel, about being in a public school or whatever it was. The crowd was unfazed by this nigga waving a gun. Like, we don't give a fuck about it. We ain't scared, nigga. Like, whatever. Yeah. Like, get your ass off the court so we can continue this game. You even heard somebody say, man, don't give a fuck about your mama.
I was just about to say that. You heard somebody say that. Don't give a fuck about your mama.
And that's exactly how it would have went. But the things that really like upsets me about it upsets me, and I love this scene because it's utterly ridiculous. It's to have rope in your crib to exit at any given moment. Like, nobody even thinks about that. And to your point, Rachel, for Bobby crazy ass to think like, oh, I'm about to cut this rope and really fuck this man up.
Yeah, not even untie it and throw it out the window, but to cut it.
Yeah.
And talk shit while you're doing it. And why you blowing your cover? Like, you pulled out the gun when you yelled his name. What you think you're going to do? Stop? I'm not stopping if somebody pull out the strap while you yelling my name and I don't know you. And I thought one of the funniest moments in the movie was he sicks the dog on him and then got the nerve to say, hey, don't shoot my dog. Nigga, your dog getting shot if he coming at me.
Period.
Straight up.
And also, another funny moment from Bobby. The dude, Damien, he's asking, like, man, call an ambulance. The nigga said, for what? My dog bites? I'll be okay. Like, nigga, what you talking about ambulance, bro? Ain't gonna be no ambulance. And then obviously getting the information. I thought that was just a great scene because it doesn't make any sense as to why any of this is happening, but you don't care. You just go with it. It's entertaining.
Yeah. Yes.
It's entertaining,
absolutely.
Man. Who we on? Rachel? You back on you, school?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go right to the next scene, man. When they get the info from Ben Wallace, when they get the information from Ben Wallace, and they go ahead.
That's the same scene, ain't it? It's the same scene.
Go to the casino.
Oh, the new dude. That's not Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was the witness that they cut out the window.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the one. Okay, I got you. I'm my fault. I misheard.
Okay.
I misunderstood.
So when they first walk in, obviously that's supposed to be a casino. I ain't never seen no casino like that, but okay. Just again, like Bobby was saying, I guess I should have, been around a little bit more for Jack, because one thing you don't do, your mama always taught you, do not point. When that nigga came in there talking about look for the nigga with the goatee, and that motherfucker, there you go right there. That was it, bruh. Them niggas didn't even hesitate. They start rock, pop, 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 pop. Which goes into a great, I think it's a great, car chase scene. Like, and Bobby didn't give a fuck, bro. He didn't give a fuck about that car. None of that shit. I want to know who killed my moms. Like, we need this info, nigga.
Nah, that's real.
Straight up.
And did it bother you a little bit that they didn't get more information before they popped them?
No.
Because they probably knew, like, they ain't gonna tell us anything. Like, we might as well just call it a day.
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't mad at that. Rachel, what's your next scene?
My next scene is, it takes us a while, quote unquote, but I'm down at dinner at Victor Sweet's restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's buddy. That's my next scene.
Yeah.
It is our real intro to Victor Sweet.
The GOAT.
We see that this nigga's really, really crazy.
He crazy.
Whatever you thought about a villain, to your point earlier at the top of the episode, it was not what I was expecting him to be. So we're at this restaurant. It's been found out his name's been dropped. What the fuck you mean get on the floor and eat this food?
Yeah.
There's I wish I understood the psychology of someone who was the errand boy, yes, the heir to the family business, to the top dog. And maybe you watched your uncle humiliate people. Yes. Howsoever, how do you get to the point from being a flunk? I actually know how this happens. From being the flunky to the one, and to be so committed to the humiliation game, like a kink. It was absolutely crazy. And to not just be disrespectful to your crew, to the people who are supposed to be supportive of you. You know what it reminded me of? Birdie in Above the Rim.
Yeah.
Great call. Great call.
Yeah.
It was just wild to me because not only are you talking to me, your flunky, your employee, the person who actually gets shit done for you, you talking to my woman like this?
Yeah.
You let her get down too? We didn't get to it, but wouldn't let that shit happen to me.
So
he ain't even miss a beat when she said that shit neither. He ain't even think twice.
What?
The crazy part about that whole moment is because he said it. Shut up, bitch! I'll put you right down there with him. And then for a split second, you know what? Matter of fact,
get down here and enjoy a meal with your man, nigga.
Bruh.
This the nigga
Rachel, I had this written down. It's gone, right? It's over. If you see your man eating off the floor, it's over, right? There's no coming back from that.
About to ask.
There is nothing you can say to me.
Listen,
ain't no coming back from
what
that.
kind of nigga is you?
Right.
It's nothing you can say.
I couldn't look my woman in her eyes no more.
Nigga, even if you try, I can't look at you. I'm turning my head. I'm like, God, I turn my face when you want some bullshit. I cannot deal with you. Are you crazy? They got kids. Me and my children. Get my children out of here. Me and my kids are never.
Yeah.
Now I will say this. Obviously, this is not victim blaming at all. But I always wonder, like, nigga, you can't wait a few more minutes to eat that shit.
Listen,
you hungry, Evan? You must be hungry, right? Dogs gotta eat, right?
Listen, that scene again, Rich. I think you said it earlier. Is one of the greatest, like, opening line. Everything about that scene is perfect.
Yeah,
he comes in. You can't even see whose face this is. You don't know who's about to be on the other side of this. That man said, "Out of town shooters." Mm-hmm. I thought I said. I know I said it. Because I remember
myself saying
it, nigga. Like,
came in cool, out of town shooters. That's what I said. I remember hearing myself say it, out of town shooters. You know what? You don't pay a hoe to fuck you. You pay her to leave, which is a bar.
That's a bar, nigga.
Yeah, you pay her to leave. What you pay out of town shooters to do? You pay them to get the hell back out of town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What else I get with my money? In town police. In town problems, man. Come on, like that's from a boss level. I understand, but to Rachel's point, you don't reach it to that level and not think that your crew gonna turn on you because you treat them horribly. Like, why would you?
That part.
To quote Bronx Hill, man, you treat them just enough to where they doing well, but not good enough to where they don't need you.
Yeah,
kind of one of those middle ground and fine lines you got when they had the whole conversation about would you rather be feared or respected.
Yeah,
but insane for him to go that route, and I would never. I'm never. Thank God, I'm not evil enough to even imagine asking a nigga to eat something off the floor.
Well,
that's diabolical. And to have a girl down there, bro. I don't.
Yeah.
I just. That's what. There's no way. There's no way I can have my wife. First of all, I wouldn't be there. You gotta shoot me. You gotta shoot.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's just some shit you just gotta. You feel you. What your boy Chad say? You feel you being disrespected.
You gotta act accordingly.
Act accordingly, man. You got to.
I was just having this conversation, School, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But Charleston White, crazy ass, posted a video. I'll send it to y'all because somebody sent it to me about like a man has to leave his wife if she don't listen. Ain't no way I'm listening to shit you got to say if you got your big ass eating off the floor because this other grown man told you to, when you ain't shoot that nigga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you let him disrespect me. You got me down here on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand why she got down there.
Yeah,
tricky. But as a man, nigga, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Go ahead, School. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's really the first time I've seen this movie a million times, and this is the first time that I realized that when Tyrese was explaining about Victor, that he used to get humiliated by his uncle. Like, so it all made sense. I'm like, damn, like he just got it bad, man. He can't help himself.
Yeah.
He can't help himself. He's obsessed with that power. Power is a dangerous fucking drug, man.
It is.
That's just dangerous.
even the small subtle things like that let you know who Victor was without saying anything. Like when he walked in the room and they realized he was there, like the way Evan like pounded at that table, I'm serious, get the fuck up.
Listen, he said, I'm going. Damn, like
get the fuck out of my seat, man.
I would have loved to see who got in the ring with him.
We would have jumped that nigga, man. One-on-one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Nah, I'm talking about. Remember when he says, "Who gonna get in the ring with me on this one?" Like who hired the out of town shooters? Like who was?
Nobody wanted to say nothing, but he knew part of this is I'm a firm believer. You know who you can get that shit off on.
Yeah, for sure.
He knows he can get that shit off on them, and I'm just shocked by it because that's not. We've talked about it. We don't got to harp on it more. Eating off the floor and having a grown man look over you and say, "That's a good boy." Lack that shit up. What? You will die tonight.
Boy, ain't no fucking way.
Ain't no way, boy.
No fucking way.
Ain't no way. So my next scene would be, well, just a quick moment I'll throw in there. Just the possibility of Jerry might be foul. Starting to get those little breadcrumbs of that.
Yeah.
But my next scene would be Victor Sweet with the councilman.
Okay.
I don't know if you have anything before that, but did you say my name? Just the theater experience, like you mentioned, School, of when he told him to go to the kiddie table and the whole theater getting weak because we all know in the culture what that means.
What that means.
The kiddie table. And that's not even the moment of the scene.
Nah.
If you didn't dislike Victor earlier, this nigga dead ass serious. They letting him win. They let him win at cards. So I heard you about to marry that fine piece of ass of yours. How about I send you on some out of town work?
Come on.
You know what I mean? I'll teach her some nice tricks for you. Yeah, you can teach her how to cook. I said, nah, I'll teach her things better. Hey, with the dead serious face, nah, I'll teach her things better than that. Hey, hold on. He looked at this man's School. Rachel, he looked at this man dead in his face and said, that's too much woman for you. You're going to have to share her a little. You're going to have to share her around a little bit. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I wish a nigga would come up to me and say some shit like that.
Murder was the case that they gave me.
Murder was the case.
Just like half pint.
Listen.
Listen.
You know. Tell his oldest time.
Bruh, the way that man grabbed the councilman, that ain't no regular person. Like, bruh, he grabbed that nigga up by his tie. Said, did you tell him my name? Nah, Victor, but we can't be doing business like this no more. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. I ain't finished with my hand. I ain't finished with you. So go sit down at the table.
Go sit at the other. Nah, he told him go sit at the other table. And that nigga looked around. Like, the other table? He said, yeah, go sit at the kiddie table.
Crazy.
Nah, man, but tell somebody that's too much woman for you. You got to share. I'm going to send you on an out-of-town trip so I can do something. That fine Italian. Hey, come on, man. Victor Sweet was out of pocket. School, what's your next scene?
The next scene have to be R.I.P. Jack, man. If I jump ahead, somebody stop me. But yeah, the R.I.P. Jack, man. And it's the first time where I realized too that because it always bothered me this scene because I'm like, why the fuck did he even go out there? Like, but what he say? Your mother was a whore.
Somebody knocked on the door originally. Somebody knocked on the door while they were talking. Remember, that's the same scene. I want to point this out too, because that's the same scene where they actually confronted Jerry.
Yes.
And then somebody knocked on the door, and then your mother's a whore. He said, fuck you. Then he threw the snowball, and then obviously. But that's the naivete of Jack.
Yes, I was going to say the naivete, and also just wanting to prove himself to them. I'm a tough guy. I can handle myself. Like, They popped his shit, man. R.I.P. to Jack, man. He was a good dude, man. I like Jack, man.
Yeah, man.
I really like that Victor Sweet held no punches. Victor Sweet sent everybody. And you could tell them was, again, we know the guys earlier were contract killers, but these guys were definitely contract killers. They
definitely ex-military.
Yeah, something, bro. They came with that heat, nigga.
Yeah, you can tell by the way they give out commands and all that stuff and hand signals. Yeah, they were definitely ex-military. School, to your point, that's one of those movie theater scenes when I said it earlier, just the bullets flying everywhere, just how loud it was in the theater, just trying to figure out what's going to happen. And then, of course, just Jack's death, like the fact that blood coming out his mouth and you're like, oh, shit. Because at this point of the film, you you formed this brotherhood, like you believe them as brothers, and it's like you lost little bro, and then Jack was the most vulnerable one, and it made sense because he kind of gave you more vengeance. If you killed any other ones, maybe Jeremiah because he's a family man, but you kind of had to kill Jack to really get that sympathy of the audience, and it worked. And then just once again, just ridiculous that you shot up the whole block. And Lieutenant Green talking about self-defense. Like, nigga, ain't no way you get no self-defense for that type of shit.
Well, one thing else I was going to talk about too in that scene is like a thing that I remember in the movie theater was, remember in that scene, Jeremiah runs away and you thinking like, damn, Jeremiah, a bitch for real. Like, and then of course he, stabs him. I got a family. I remember the crowd went crazy, was celebrating like, yeah, like, we ain't know where he was going at first. Like, is this nigga a hoe for real?
And you know what's crazy? I watched this movie at 18, watching it as a grown man, even though I don't have kids. I understand Jeremiah. Nigga, I'm going back to my family. Fuck out of here with y'all, man.
Hell yeah.
Like, so I get it. I get it, man. I do remember him stabbing him, and I remember his car crashing into the other cars when they saved Bobby. But yeah, it was that shootout, just a great action sequence. Like, just a great action sequence that you can get.
Thank God. Thank Victor Sweet.
That's another thing that's ridiculous because earlier we know that the guys they hired to kill Evelyn weren't going to talk because they're hired killers. I just mentioned these dudes are probably ex-military. There's no way he would have given up his name that easy. And imagine that if you in that life, you know that if you get caught, it's death. Like, you getting robbed. You know this man ain't gonna let you go. You just spray this house up, man. He's not gonna let you walk away like this. But classic scene.
Maybe since he was the driver, maybe he was just the driver. Man. Like, these my people.
Well, let me tell you why he's not. Remember, Jeremiah hit him because he was about to run over Bobby. So he wasn't just the driver. He was in on it. He was ready.
So but ready versus really, really being one of the tactical trainers, because he stayed in the car up until it was time to move. He wasn't really, really about that action till the end.
That's fair. That's actually fair.
Bobby. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually fair. That's a fair point because he looked like a square, like compared to everybody else.
And even that, thank God, to your point, like real, they ain't about to do all of that, And we mentioned Angel being a Marine at the top, but Bobby was a motherfucking shooter too. Like, you consider it just show we talked about what kind of shit was they into. Oh, this.
That's real. And Bobby's a survivor. It's hard to kill people like Bobby when you don't care about dying. Or don't fear death in the same way like a normal person would, because there's not too many people where they'll say, "Oh, I'm out of shells. I see him reload. I'm gonna take this brick and throw it at him, and I'm just gonna fight them one-on-one." Like most people don't have that mindset. They're trying to actually exit out the back versus attacking the problem. Bobby was a motherfucker, man.
Sure.
And then Rachel, I know we on you. I just have the last 20 minutes of the film.
That's
I don't know if that's gonna be yours.
Another thing we didn't mention, it was the lawyer's house. That was another scene that I had, just because shout out to women having gentleman callers even into their even into their later years. And again, Bobby being about that action, like, we gonna get some answers. We getting to the bottom of this shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sophia being unnecessary, like, I just appreciated it just for what we saw, because it really led into sort of the final 30 minutes of the movie, because we see what else they're capable of. Not just young Black kids. This old white lawyer man can get it too. Like, we really are about our brother or our mother's life. And then the last 20, Green's death, finding out that Fowler, we knew Fowler was fucked up upon entry, if you ask me. He gave Cricket, he gave Villain, because why is you trying to fight me the first time? Like,
right.
Obviously the boxing scene out on the ice. Shout out to unions.
Ain't never miss your meat. Watch your motherfucking mouth.
That's a fact.
Shout out to boxing. Ooh, you can take it, Rich.
Nah, that's pretty much it. That's how, the ending Obviously, you want to see the mano a mano. Like I said, if you watch this from the perspective of Blaxploitation, exactly how the movie should have ended. They get their revenge. You see Bobby staying around. If you notice, Bobby didn't see Evelyn until the end of the movie. When they were at the dinner table earlier, everyone else saw her, and they saw her. She had different outfits on, so they saw different versions of her at that scene. Bobby looked up; he didn't see anything. Obviously, they attribute that to him not actually accepting her death. So it's finally at the end when he actually even tells the kids, "Yeah, she's dead," and then he sees her. And it makes you want to root for Bobby and just hope that everybody lands on their feet. You kind of want everybody to move back to Detroit so they can be together.
Yeah, of course.
But you just kind of know what the life is. So they did a great job in that sense. And this is just a very easy film to watch. It's great background noise if you don't have anything else and trying to get some stuff done. Just to have it on, because you'll peek up at a few scenes. And like I said, Victor Sweet, that character itself, even though he only had 3 scenes, just incredible. Just incredible. Yeah. School, best quotes?
Oh, man. Oh, shit.
I know we said a lot of them.
Yeah, we done
Rachel?
Yeah, like I said, we said a lot of these. Black people don't get what they want in this country. Why should you?
Osama.
La Vida Loca ain't staying in this house. Get your corn muffin head ass in the corner. You keep knocking on the devil's door long enough and somebody gonna answer you. You don't pay a hoe to fuck you, you pay him to leave. You want to cross that bridge, you gotta pay the toll. Shout out to everybody who got stuck on that bridge, Detroit and Toronto. You missed your exit. And God damn it, I like the way you do business.
Oh man, yeah, that's a classic.
Oh man, Rachel, you just ran through them. That was good. I only got 2. One because one quote. Just I always think about this movie. Anytime somebody gets Jack Daniels, I think Jack drinks Jack. And the other one I had was, it was more of a moment than a quote. But when Jerry was showing them like the lofts and what he planned on doing, and Jack was taking he was urinating. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is this the master suite?"
Yeah.
That's just a smart ass thing to say. I thought that was hilarious.
I got one that y'all didn't mention. At least I like the scene is obviously at the end when they're looking at Jeremiah and they say, "You said something, didn't you?" And Bobby goes, "I did." I'm banging his wife. Like the way he say that shit is hilarious to me. Like he said that shit so nonchalant. Yeah, I told him I was banging his wife. Like
he said it like a man who just got beat up and was waiting for his property so he can go home. Matter of fact, I did say something. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. Scene Stiller.
They wasn't new to this. They was true to this.
That's a fact.
True to this. Yeah, man. Hey, this nigga, I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Jerry or Angel, but he wasn't good the first time. Imagine telling the nigga his wife, she wasn't all that good the first time.
Hey, that second time, no man.
I think we're gonna have a clean sweep for Scene Stealer.
Yeah, Victor Sweet.
Yeah, Chiwetel
Ejiofor for sure.
Definition of a scene stealer. 3 scenes, classic, memorable moments. Did such a great job. You think he's in the movie more?
Yes.
Like he literally probably has about 10 minutes of screen time in this hour and 48, and it's just one of those memorable performances. He's in a lot of great things.
Yes, I was just gonna say, I talked about Terrence Howard's range and genius at the top, but Chiwetel has done some things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really like the range. Shout out to Talk to Me.
I was just about to say, because I was watching. I talked about this. I was watching Fight Night on Peacock. And Don Cheadle, he bodied that. He looked a lot like what's my man's name? Who played in the Photograph?
Oh,
damn it!
Like the version of Don Cheadle playing that cop in Fight Night looked just like Rob Morgan.
Yeah,
it looked just like Rob Morgan, and it made me realize, like, damn, they should have got Rob Morgan to play that. Even though I love Don Cheadle, but Talk to Me is one that I can't wait to discuss. But shout out to Chiwetel. Things that bother you. School, we'll start with you.
I don't think I have anything for real. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The scene where they go to the contract killer's house, like, bro, the police would have got caught up in that mess, man. That was just, the police had already found the bodies, and they had went home and looked at the lights.
That's right. They did.
Then went to the apartment. They should have went to the apartment first. Like,
yeah,
that shit just didn't add up.
Nah, that's fair. I did think of one more quote randomly. I'm sorry. Or as smart as Bobby is, he just don't like to think.
I think we all heard that before.
Yeah, for sure. Rachel, you got anything that bothers you?
Sophie got on my goddamn nerves.
Yeah,
like it was too stereotypical.
Yeah.
It was, but in beyond that, it was annoying. Like I felt like it took away from more than added to the various scenes.
That's a fact. They could have completely gone without. I know you trying to show Angel.
This playboy. He's fine as fuck. That's all we need. Hello. Tyrese should act more.
So lying.
So yeah, Sophia, everything about her going to the police at the end really bothered me. Because at first I was thinking like, damn, was this part of the plan?
It is part of the plan.
No, because remember the cops got there and they're like, hold on, like I thought he was the victim. I thought he was a hostage. They didn't know.
I know.
He didn't really have a wire.
Exactly, because she told that was part of the plan, bro.
I don't think so. I see her as being someone the same way she came up to that lawyer's house and blew up the spot.
No, that was
that's just who she was, in my opinion.
I felt like the police.
How else would the cops have gotten there? Remember, he looked out the window, all that. Like, that was part of the plan. I'm surprised.
You said no. When the cops got there, they really thought, all right, so maybe I have an issue with the plan itself. Because there was no inside cop. There was no wire.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Do you know how much of a risk that is?
Well,
that means he would have to catch you and flip the scene. Like all of that. And like I said, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to. But that's a terrible plan. Then, if that's the case, if that was on purpose, it's even worse.
Yeah.
That's an awful plan.
I mean, if you the cops and you supposed to be helping another cop, and then he comes out and he shoots at you, then the plan changes, right?
No, what I'm saying is this, School. Why would you put yourself at risk of harming a cop? Because how you leave? People always think about doing it. They never think about leaving. How am I going to leave this situation?
Yeah.
And that's the part that didn't make any sense, because Fowler you're going to tie him up. All right, let's say you do tie him up and you get out of there. You don't think Fowler's going to have the whole police force at the Mercer house telling you exactly what happened? Like, you have to have a lot of dumb luck to and you didn't intentionally have him like get this gun from you. That wasn't part of your plan.
Yeah.
Like, so if that was the case, it would have done differently. So that's why it made me think like she was just it just didn't make sense. It was a terrible plan, or she did that without need to. Only thing that bothered me really was the opening scene. Evelyn was helping that little kid who was caught stealing candy. That nigga was stealing a Tootsie Roll. That shit really bothered me, y'all. Like, let it be a Fruity or Reese's or Kit Kat or something, Twix. Like, don't go down over no Tootsie Roll, bro. That's just not worth it. Angel told, and I get it, as someone who appreciates, who calls people who's not my actual blood family and brothers. Angel told everybody who would listen that Bobby was his brother.
Yeah.
You did this to my brother. Stop doing my brother. Stop. Like, it was just a lot. When you watch it multiple times in a row, it doesn't bother me like that, but it is one of those.
Calling my brother a bitch.
Yeah, it was just a lot of it. But I get it. So I'm gonna let it slide, but it still was very noticeable.
It's funny, he's still throwing them weak ass Jody punches too. Every time he punched, especially when he punched old boy at the court.
Yeah.
That reminded me of him punching them people in Baby Boy, punching little kids.
So real quick, before we wrap up the rest of these categories, Rachel, I'm just curious to know, because Come See About Me is next. And it's not a Come See About Me moment, but I am curious to think, what do you think was going on when Angel went to go get Sophie? Do you think they was in the middle of something and the dude came home? What do you think happened in that scenario?
Yeah, I guess that would be the most the easiest path to how they got there. Yeah. Because
was busting shots.
See, and that's one of those things is just be like, why? Like you said, because there's no, you don't come back to it. There was no reason for that shit. Yeah. He could have just knocked on the door, hugged her, and came. You know what I mean? Like, what was the purpose of that?
Yeah, I mean, everybody got that thing they always come back, they see about when they come home. But
yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Any actors from The Wire? No. We talked about the soundtrack, incredible score and soundtrack to the film. Yeah. Wouldn't let that happen to me. We've already talked about the eating off the floor. I also don't think I could watch the surveillance video of moms getting.
Oh man,
it was not necessarily wouldn't let that happen to me, but I just couldn't stomach that. I don't think I got it in me. We kind of talked about most of the trivia throughout the origin of this episode.
Hold on,
of course,
there's another wouldn't let happen to me. I'm not getting cut in on mom's bread. I'm sorry.
Oh, for Jack.
Yeah, they
did. He got that pearl necklace.
That was a rosary.
A rosary?
Yeah, that was a rosary.
What you think Jack gonna do about it?
It don't matter.
It was $20.
Yeah, it's a couple dollars. Jackie gonna have to eat that. All right. Any last words before we do our rankings or ratings?
Nope.
All right. So for episode 100, the average viewer rates Four Brothers a 6.8 out of 10. Too high, too low, just right. School, what you got?
I'm gonna say just right. 6.8. I'm okay with 6.8.
Okay. Ray P?
Too low, 7.1.
We on the money. Too low, 7.1. I had it written down. It's definitely a 7.1. Because I think Shooter's a 7.1, and I like Shooter much more than Four Brothers.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not much more, but I do like it more. I'll watch it.
I ain't seen it in a while though.
Yeah, Bobby Lee Swagger. Shout out to Shooter, man. But yeah, I think 7.1 is a good rating for this. It deserves to be bumped up into the sevens because I will rewatch this, and I enjoy it, as you could tell from the conversation. Lastly, a rose, a bouquet, or the whole damn garden. School, what you got?
I'm gonna give it a bouquet because especially for what it is, the moments, the laughs, the experience in theaters. 05, I'm 16. Finally high school by myself, smelling myself, rich in college. Yeah, man. You know how I get down when you leave.
It's facts. That's how you got the name school.
Yeah.
I'll give it a bouquet. I don't know if they are roses, so we can throw some carnations and some baby fresh in there.
Putting that Trader Joe's bundle together. That's a great question. Yeah, it's a bouquet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bouquet. As much as my memories and my affinity for this film have everything to do with when it came out, where I was in life. It's not like a standalone. I love this movie so much, but it just reminds me of so much of like that Boys to Men kind of phase of where I was and being 18 and just enjoying this type of. This is right up my alley. This is who they made this film for someone like me, so I can definitely appreciate it. The same way I appreciate the both of you, and I appreciate everyone out there listening. This is episode 100. This was fun. I'm glad we were able to take some time and really just like get our feelings and get our thoughts about what we remember from first time recording to where we are now. And we're just going to keep chipping away week by week and see what happens next. But we appreciate all of y'all. I don't know if either one of you have any final words before we get out of here.
Go ahead, school.
Not really. I just want to say I appreciate all the listeners. It means so much to me to have your support in real life and in this recording studio. It just really means a lot. So thank you for listening. I love you too from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me, man, just to have y'all support, all of you. So episode 100, we here, man. This is crazy. God is good.
Amen.
For sure. I'll just piggyback off that. Thank y'all so much for listening. All your support. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We still got y'all.
No doubt.
Just thank you. Continue to like, listen, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch y'all on the next one.
No doubt. We definitely still got y'all. Rachel and myself, we're talking about the early 2025 lineup. So we got some stuff coming. And shout out to both of y'all. Like I said, Rachel, thank you for playing Hurt today. Thank you for pulling through, because like I said, we had to cancel last week because I was sick. So for you to show up, episode 100, show out like always, definitely appreciate you. It's cool. Couldn't have done this without you. And everybody out there listening, definitely can't do it without y'all either. So we'll see y'all next time. As always, y'all be cool. How y'all be cool.
Peace.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
We out.